It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it's showtime. What's happening, everybody? No, let me do that right. It is showtime, everybody. The Geno Jones Show. What's happening? I'm here. I'm back. And I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast, out in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, the city of angels, maybe up in Seattle or Portland, Oregon, where my firstborn, Lauren Shiana Hill Vaughn, and my son-in-law, Jonathan, and Brooklyn, the Bulldog. Hope they're watching. Hope you're watching your dad today. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show on the Geno Jones channel. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. My guest returning, South Carolina State Representative Wendell Gilliard. He is running for re-election. I'm going to ask him, why is he running for re-election? Why does he want to serve the people again? And what is it that he plans to do differently? He's always working on some new things, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm going to tell you why he's always working for and repping the people. But before that, he's going to tell you about a wonderful program that's been helping the elderly and senior citizens here since I've been here nearly 20 years, something called Project Cool Breeze. So that's going to be the first thing we talked about. He's been serving the community in every capacity. He was a local politician here in the city of Charleston. Now he's in the representing his district here in South Carolina. Let me jump off the show. Happy birthday to my man. Back in the day, he was repping the 312 Chi-Town. I think he's living out in Vegas now. Former lead singer for the group Blackstreet. My brother, the good Reverend now. He was a preacher, the good Reverend. My man Dave Hollister, former lead singer of Blackstreet, 54 today. And here's a quick little history lesson. On this day in 1887, the brother who was Malcolm X, before Malcolm X, the brother who really was like, let's put it this way, the brother who Malcolm X's parents studied under and learned from, especially when it comes to social activism, just political, social, economic power for black people and the potential that we possess, something he called Pan-Africanism, which was the political, social, economic union, and strengthening the bonds of all people of African descent here in America, back on the continent of Africa, in the Caribbean, in Europe, in South America, in Asia. He's like, listen, if all of us of the African diaspora, man, if we come together, it's a wrap. And that's what the colonizers are afraid of. See, the colonizers think that we will do to them what they did to us. And what the colonizers don't know is that that's not who we are. As a matter of fact, here's an example. When black folks gained political power in South Africa after decades of apartheid, that racist regime, and that really it was a system of legalized racism, kind of like segregation and Jim Crow in America. Once that was dismantled and black people got power, Nelson Mandela, who was in prison for 27 years, something like that, he became president. When the black people in South Africa took power, they didn't go lynch, rape, and murder white people. They had something called a Truth and Reconciliation Council, where they sat down and talked about it and forgave white folks. Now, so so for you colonizers, for you MAGA crowd that's watching, what you all are afraid of, it ain't gonna happen. But people who want to control your money and your political power, people who want you to work for peanuts while they become 100 times a billionaire, 1,000 times a billionaire, so they're going to have yachts that's worth $250 million. They got to make you think that you got to be afraid of people that look like me. Black folks and Mexicans and Muslims and Jews and gays, lesbians, transgender, the LGBTQ community. Anybody. This whole race construct thing is made up. It was made up, created in Europe in around the 1680s, 17th century. Some say as early as the 1500s. So a small handful of people could pit the masses against each other and make them fear each other so they could manipulate the situation and maintain control, economic control, control the money. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it where the ghost can get it. They want to maintain control of the money, the social, political, and economic power. That's why this whole thing of race was created in the first damn place. But anyway, Marcus Garvey was born on this day in 1887. He'd be 135 today. Brother would be pretty old if he was still with us. But his philosophy, his worldview, his ideology of Pan-Africanism is beautiful. It's something we got to make happen. Because whether we speak Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese, French, kind of like British accent, or an accent from the South, or from New York, or Chicago, LA, we are all, when they see us, when the MAGA crowd and the colonizers see us, they don't see American, or you're African American, or you're Jamaican, or look, you know what they see, you know what they say. So we need to come together. Just want to put something on your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the day Marcus Garvey was born. Yes, actually he was a big influence on Malcolm X's mom and dad. And they basically, when Malcolm learned, as a matter of fact, just go back, Google some speeches of Marcus Garvey, and then listen to some of Malcolm X's early speeches. You will basically hear the same person. Absolutely. Very dynamic man. So, as a matter of fact, there's a petition to pardon Marcus Garvey, because if you could imagine, in the early 1900s, they were afraid this black man telling black people to unite all over the world. Oh, snap. We can't have that. Oh, God, they'll take over. They'll kill us and lynch us and rape us and murder us like we did to them. No, sorry, wrong answer. We wouldn't do that. And that's not what he was advocating. He was advocating for economic independence for us as Africans all across the planet. That's what he was all about, but they were afraid. So they charged him of mail fraud in 1923, and he left the country. As a matter of fact, they used that as an excuse to deport him back to his native land, Jamaica. He was born in St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica. So happy birthday to Marcus Garvey. Just a little history lesson here today on the Geno Jones Show. My guest, South Carolina State Representative Wendell Gilliard. He is coming on the screen right now to talk about a wonderful program. He's talking about a brother who's always been giving back to the community. He's got a program. We didn't get a chance to talk about it because every time he comes on, man, there's so much to talk about. And this man himself is such a dynamic speaker, just dynamic presence and personality, but spirit of being a public servant and giving. See, some folks are politicians. Be careful. If you hear somebody running for office and they say they are a politician, they're about the money. If you hear someone running and say they are a public servant and they're running to be a public servant, they are about the people. This man you see on camera is about the people. Brother Representative Wendell Gilliard, good evening, my friend.
Hey, my friend. Geno, you still doing it, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm in my Marcus Garvey mode today. I'm amped, fired up. The brother, today is his birthday.
Yes. Yes, man. I love your intro on him, too. That was very informative. And I would hope that the younger people and the middle-aged people take note in your referencing the birthday of an awesome guy. You can only imagine back during that period, the pressure these ladies and gentlemen were under when they stood up because they wanted to stand up You know, because
Yes.
like you always hear me say, they had backbone. You know, they weren't afraid.
Yeah.
They only fear God because they knew they were standing on the truth. And that's what, like you just stated, that's the difference between a politician and a public servant. A public servant has backbone. You know, we don't get into cliques. We know we have to represent the many and not the few. And when I say that, I'm talking about people of all creeds and color, because that's our mission. Now, the last podcast, on your program that you had me on, I can bet the next day my phone was just lighting up, wanting to know this and that. What did I mean by this and that? And one of the things that stood out in my mind before we get to Project Cool Breeze is the Constitution. And I still stand on my belief to this date, Geno. Okay, and you know that. I tell my peers in Columbia, the Constitution was not made for my ancestors back during that period.
Come on.
Okay?
Come on.
People have to understand that. And I want to reiterate once again, it was not written in the mindset of the so-called founding fathers back then. It was not meant for the indigenous people, nor the people that they had enslaved, our ancestors, nor women, including white women.
Come on, that part, say it.
You see, when we do research and we stand on our belief, we have to stay in character, because if we don't do that, then we'll just be trying to appease a certain group of people, the status quo. But we should never be about that. If you do your research, and then you'll find out that, we the people, okay, it has meaning. I always told the people, when they wrote the Constitution, when they started talking that yang about we the people, that they had tunnel vision, because they just saw themselves, all white males, mainly back during that era. Right. Now, that era, does that make me a hatred of my white brothers and sisters? No, because I believe we are all seen as one in the sight of God. But the problem is we don't have a living Constitution, okay? Because if we did, Geno and I would not be having this conversation. We would not be talking about the racism, prejudice against people of color if we had a living Constitution. That's what I want. That's what I want to represent. But see, people, when they hate you, they try to change the narrative. Just like I was walking in the store the day after the first show, Geno, I had a white brother and sister walk up to me. Oh, I heard you on the Geno show, and we're passing that all around. And I'm like, well, good. And I hope you hear what I had to say. Oh, yeah, you hate white people. You hate the Constitution. You see how people try to change the narrative when you stand up for the truth? I said, yeah, I'm glad you're listening to the Geno show, but you're taking the wrong message. Now that you heard it from the horse's mouth, in a sense, okay, what would you do with it now? Well, I'm telling you what I meant. And I only took the time to tell you that because of the way you approached it. Okay. Other than that, I could really care less, because I got to keep moving on because life is short. Okay. Now, what those founding fathers, the so-called, and I like to use that word so-called, because I don't know what they found. I mean, I could go back to when the earth was one mass. Okay. Yes. I can go back when Africa was the world. Yes. Continent. Okay. I mean, people have to understand. You have to really study your history to know where you're going in the future. Okay. So absolutely. I try to impress that upon people and put that in my message everywhere I go. We are one, brothers and sisters, in the sight of God. We are one. Okay. And people have to learn to appreciate and understand that. Now, I also want to get people to also remember the country that we call Haiti. 11 million plus people. The brothers and sisters in Haiti just showed up once again. First, a couple of months ago, early in the year, if you remember, they showed up in Del Rio.
Yes.
After trying to escape, surviving shocks, okay, surviving diseases of all kinds while they traveled from Haiti through Central America and ending up in Del Rio, Texas. But you know what we did, ladies and gentlemen? We picked them up in a plane and flew them back to their miseries.
Sure did.
Okay?
Sure did.
Now, if I was president of these great United States, I'm being patriotic now because I do love America, okay? Just as much as I love Africa, that continent that we call Africa, But if I was president of this country and I had Haiti, let's and I know why they're doing this because once again, you have to study the history of Haiti. But if I was president of the greatest country in the world and I had this uproar in my backyard and I knew that young boys, young women are being raped, put down by drug lords, which has a direct connection to the crime here in America. Let me get the record straight, okay? I would order a special op because it's in my backyard to put those drug lords down, okay? They are no match for our special ops team. I would bring that country to rest, stop the exodus, save hundreds, tens of thousands of lives, and then help build that country up the way it should be because it's in our backyard. Now, let's fast forward to Ukraine, okay?
And let me, before you do that, Ukraine, let me just jump in because I don't want to lose this point on Haiti. And so while we go in and we send some special forces to root out the criminals and the drug lords, then what we can do is we can forgive the debt that Haiti supposedly owes us because we are the ones that created a situation where Haiti had to get debt.
You're right on the mark, you're right.
People don't talk about that. See,
and we remember now, and I always tell people, I'm glad you brought that point up. Fact check me. We have forgiven foreign countries, not billions, $1 trillion
yes,
of indebtedness to this country. Okay? You could go ahead and look it up. How many countries have the United States forgiven their debts? Okay? So you're right on the mark, Geno. Okay? But not only that, I would establish a form of what we call democracy in Haiti because you don't want the Russians, you don't want China to start going over there. And then and one thing, and you study the history of China and what they've been doing to our African brothers and sisters through the years, while Jim Baker and Tammy Faye and Jerry Falwell was sending bread and water, guess what the Chinese were doing? They were sending educational systems and educational ways of training people and begging them to come to their schools. We didn't do that over here. All we did is was throwing out bread and crumbs while these evangelists got richer and richer and richer. Okay, that's why I tell people, if you're gonna spend local money on your faith base, spend it locally, not nationally. Spend it where you can call the preacher up, call the deacon up, walk around the block. Let your money speak locally with these faith-based entities because it's so important. You see, we wouldn't have to have worried about people like Jim Jones if we did not empower them financially. We didn't have to worry about people like PTL if you didn't finance. You empower them financially. Well, you can do that to your local churches and get more bangs for your bucks. Because these people don't give a diddly about us. I'm talking about most of your evangelists. I use that word most loosely. Okay, the TV evangelists. Keep your monies here locally. Empower people like you, Geno. I mean, look, you and many others. You have the most powerful tool before you in the world. Okay, a lot of people don't know. I can advertise through you. I can do things now locally, and it is so important that people understand the power of communication. A lot of us don't even begin to realize the value of that. Okay? Because you don't ever get to a point where you can understand the power of communications. Then we're lost. We just whistle and Dixie. And I'm a former union organizer. I had an organizer told us, look, and we took this up in the organizing classes. Anytime you could use technology, if you're in a situation where you could talk to 50 people or 50,000 people within an hour, which would you choose? And technology, of course. And that's how powerful technology is. So we have to invest in people like the Geno Jones and many other people who fit that description. Technology has brought us to this, and we have to understand that. But I don't want to get away from my comparison from Haiti and Ukraine.
Yeah, go back. Yeah, I just want to throw that in there.
Both countries, they need us. And ain't no way on God's living earth that you're going to get up every morning and you're going to see little girls and boys blown to pieces, whether it's in Haiti or Ukraine. It's no way in the world. We have the resources to make the difference.
Yes.
Okay. We already over in Ukraine. We just do what we have to do. We already send the monies. We already send the weaponry. We should do the same thing to Haiti.
That part.
That's my comparison.
That part right there. There you go. That part. And like I said, we have really done more damage in Haiti than we've done in the Ukraine. A lot of people don't understand that. And
you better believe it.
We've conspired against like other nations who were mad because Haiti got their independence and they wouldn't allow the slave trade to continue through Haiti. So they punished Haiti by not doing business with Haiti. And then Haiti got in a situation they didn't have a trade partner. So they had to borrow money from these other countries. And the United States of America was at the front of that line, at the front of that trough. If we gonna tell the truth. Now, Wendell, see here, we can teach the truth. So Governor McMaster, AKA Governor Foghorn Leghorn, can't say this, oh, this is CRT, you're teaching hate. No, we're teaching the truth. Because when you don't teach the truth will not only set you free, but when you don't teach the truth about history, then history has a tendency to repeat itself.
That is so true. And we're repeating ourselves in a lot of ways now.
Yes.
So we have to understand that.
That's right.
But Haiti, and a lot of you may not know when this thing really surged on Haiti about a year ago now. I could not sleep, okay, and because my thing was, look, we're tied, and I wrote, look, we're tied through Haiti by history, by citizenry, and by everything we can imagine. Haiti is only an hour and a half away from Miami, okay, and Haiti is only about 2 miles from Charleston, South Carolina. You can talk about Marcus Garvey and everything. We are tied through history with Haiti, okay? And people have to understand, I think it was about a year ago now, when this thing really surged with Haiti, I had actually wrote U.S. Senator Tim Scott, wrote the president, wrote Jim Clyburn, Congressman Clyburn, wrote Nancy Mace, Congressman Mace back then, and I wanted to start, because in this state, Geno, the Charleston Airport, that's the only place where the big airplanes are stored. The C-15s, global lifters is what they call them. Mm-hmm. We have like 18 to 20 of them, and it's only kept at the Charleston Airport space. So I wanted to get one of the senators or the congressmen to designate one of those planes for humanitarian flight. Yes. I got the ILA involved. I got the personal business involved. I got the faith base involved. Royal Church, okay, Reverend Hope, and Reverend Benton, and Mount Moriah, and many other pastors here locally. Long story short, this thing had bothered me so much. I helped organize, organization where we raise monies to purchase foods. Well, we got in touch with Dr. John Pierre in Haiti. He's the commander over there at the Haitian Red Cross over there, CEO over there. And he and I were talking back and forth from Haiti. This is why, if y'all remember, that this organization locally, Seahawk, investigated me and many other people's here. Me, Cordell Campbell, you remember. It was a young lady at Gas and Green over there. You know, they investigated, they deemed us dangerous, okay, because we were helping Haiti out. Okay, that's all we could, I could have figured out. But nevertheless, in almost 4 to 6 weeks, we had raised over a couple of $100,000 for Haiti. We got with the ILA Union and many other organizations. Long story short, we got turned down with the global lifters here. We couldn't use the airplanes. So we decided to get with other people. Dr. John Pierre, we had, every other week we were having the Zoom meetings. And he told us from Haiti, he said, look, if y'all can raise money, because number one priority down, they needed, believe it or not clothes, not food. They needed filters for water filtration, to clean the water. Mm-hmm. So that 200, well, I think it was near $200,000. It helped them bought over 8 to 10 big, huge water filters, believe it or not. And he thanked us. He sent us a big thank you letter. And I'm telling y'all this because the plight is not over yet in Haiti. We need to put the drug lords down. Let those people live like you're living, whether it's in Haiti or Ukraine. We can do it, but we're not organized. We can't do for one and not the other, is my point. If we could do it, and I even, in one of my letters, I asked the president, Tim Scott, Lindsey Graham, to go ahead and create a program, just like they're doing for Ukraine now, to let us open up our doors and bring the Haitian, some of the Haitian brothers and sisters to at least stay here temporarily. I don't want people ending up in the belly of a shark. I don't want people walking through jungles when they're just young women and children being raped by drug lords. Yes. I don't want that, and I don't think you want that either. But it's ways we can help them along the way. But to have them end up in Del Rio, Texas, months ago, and flying them back to the miseries was not the answer. No. That was not the answer. And that's why they're now, even as we talk, Geno, they're showing up in Florida shores. Now, the ones who haven't drowned and end up in the belly of the sharks. Yeah, out there. It's inhumane. Okay.
Inhumane. Hey, listen, before I lose your live shot, I'm not going to let you get away talking about programs. We have to talk about your program, Project Cool Breeze. You're talking about giving to the community, to those less fortunate. You've been very generous, and you've gotten a lot of support, and you've done this for about 2 decades. So I just want to shine the spotlight.
Just last week we had Pat Hennigan. She's the chairman of the South Carolina Black Caucus. Believe it or not, she's going to start a Project Cool Breeze in Bennettsville, of all places, Bennettsville, South Carolina. So we're collaborating with her. We have a chance to help the seniors out in her area. And those are deep rural areas in that way. And even to today, just at Lowe's, we had people came from Orangeburg, Walterboro. Matter of fact, I put some pictures. I texted to you, Geno, and you can go on my website. Just today, we had seniors who had, and a lot of people don't know this, the Cool Breeze down, we help people with medical conditions. Okay. We consider those, priority one. Great. The doctors are now calling us because they don't want seniors going home on medication and the medication having an adverse impact on their health. So we just met them down there today, and we had a good turnout. And Cool Breeze has been here for 23 years, wow. Thanks to Channel 5, 2, 4, all of the radio stations everywhere. It's a family effort, okay? It's a coalition of good people such as yourselves, okay? Community radio organization, everybody. I mean, we have Boeing, Dominion, everybody's been on board. This project is literally saving lives. And I started it back in 1999 only because, number one, I'm an environmentalist. I believe in global warming. We're now dealing with not double heat index, but triple. Yes. Count them, 3, triple heat index. My God. I mean, we have to do what is what we deem by any means necessary to make sure that we look out for our senior citizens. So yes, 23 years, thanks to the help of this great community throughout the Tri-County, and beyond. And it's just awesome. And we love it. And we love when people start a cool breeze elsewhere. I have no patent on this, didn't want none. I don't get paid for this, Geno. Okay,
right.
let's get that straight.
That's right.
I don't want to get paid. Whether it's Project Cool Breeze, Martin Luther King Picture Award, the Hope for the Homeless, no. It's all about helping people. Okay.
So you're gonna do another giveaway coming up, right? You want to tell us a little bit about that real quick?
We have another giveaway coming up on the 27th of this month. This will be our fourth giveaway. And I'm proud to sit here to even say that because of the generosity of people all over the state of South Carolina.
Wendell, how many, not to cut you off, I just wanted, because this is important, how many seniors do you help on an average year? Like how many have you helped this year? I can imagine you can't even count how many seniors that you've helped and lives you've saved in the 23 years you've done this.
Yeah, and we're now calculating the 23 years, but I can tell you, thanks to technology, I'm always high on technology, but these units are like 5,000 to 6,000 BTUs. Okay, they can cover anywhere from 3 to 4 rooms, and the average one unit would help average of 3 or 4 people per household. Wonderful. That's the formula that we were using since day one. So we're talking tens of thousands of seniors. And I'm gonna tell you something else before we go. Don't think that we're just sitting here giving out ACs. We give out smoke detectors.
Yes.
Okay, we give out fans. But even more importantly, we give out voter applications. We register people on the spot. And throughout the years, we would receive the application, and me and a designated coordinator would take them down to the voter registration office. Through the years, we've done over 10,000 unregistered voters is now registered through Project Cool Breeze to the voter registration office. And that's something that I am proud of because of the hard work of the people before us and all of our ancestors.
We got about a minute and a half. When and where is the next giveaway?
The next giveaway will be on the 27th. You know where Lowe's is located, west of Ashley. Just come over there. We'll be glad to help you out in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, so on the 27th, it goes from like 12 to 2 o'clock p.m. So we're proud to be in a position that we can serve our seniors for the 4th time this summer. It's been a long, hot summer.
Yes, it has.
It's been long and hot, But this is still the greatest country in the world. I believe in a living constitution. Get it straight. You heard it on the Geno. Okay. I'm not against anything, but I'm for we the people.
Right. And the only thing I will say this, you know what we are against? We are against hatred in any form, racism, anti-Semitism, anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant hate, homophobia, transphobia, hate, misogyny, sexism, hate, bigotry, evil in any form. That's what we are against. We are.
You said it well, and I'll be stating that at the Michelle Obama Club today. This Saturday in Ridgeland, South Carolina. The Michelle Obama is having their annual event out there, and I've been invited to be the guest speaker. It's going to be on hate crime.
Wonderful.
The Clemente hate crime bill.
Thank you. So Representative Wendell Gilliard, Election Day is 82 days away. We got to send this man back to the state capitol, give out the information. People want to support your campaign. Give them the website and all the information where they can make any kind of contribution. You want to volunteer. Campaigns need money. I said it, so we need to support this brother. Let them know where they can go and support the campaign and learn more about you.
You can go at www.southcarolinaGilliardforStateHouse.org, and you can get me like that. Or you can just call me at 843-209-3123.
Wendell Gilliard, always doing God's work, man. I am blessed and honored. And I know my mother who's watching now, she is a praying woman, and she has prayed for people like you to come in my life. and be the kind of the person, the friend, not just a professional colleague. And I've been honored to work with you, but the friend you've been for nearly 2 decades. So I thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Love and respect as always. Thanks for coming on the show.
The honor is mine. Don't forget to vote. Please vote.
November 8th. But you can vote early, so we're going to talk. As a matter of fact,
yes,
Representative Gilliard is going to come back, and we're going to talk about early voting and all of that. Once again, congratulations.
I salute Ms. Cheney for what she did. She sacrificed, and we should give her accolades for doing that. Okay, she's a real Republican.
Yeah, because she took a lot of guts. Now she got a problematic voting history, but when it came down, she did the right thing and she paid the price for it. So we will give her credit for that. And
amen.
We will talk about her voting record and her daddy, Dick Cheney. That's a whole different. That's a different show. That'll be the next show. Representative Gilliard, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you, Geno.
All right. He's a good
God
dude.
bless you.
God bless you too. Good brother. Support him. All right.
All right.
Google. You can just Google Wendell Gilliard, and they'll take you. He's got a Facebook page.
Yeah, just Google my name.
From South Carolina. Just Google it, and you'll see his page. Support this man. We need him we need him back up in the State House in Columbia, South Carolina. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, where my mom is watching right now. 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast, where my firstborn, Lauren Shiana Hill Vaughn, is. Subscribe to the Geno Jones Show. Subscribe to the Geno Jones channel here on YouTube. Tell everybody, as my man Nelly would say, tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones channel and show. Share this and every episode. Like this and every episode. And binge watch all my back episodes, including this one. Next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Thursday, tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Once again, thank everybody. I want to thank you for watching, for tuning in, or just coming to the channel, watching. Copy the link, send it to somebody. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He's on Instagram, Kelby Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP, because Kel be cutting up. And Allie Jones, the official drip director, the wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. She's on Instagram, L like Lexi, X dot N like Nancy, C like Charlie, L like Larry, underscore, that dash below. So that's LX.NCL underscore, that little dash below. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. And as always, and I want to thank everybody for the conversation in my chat room. I have a live chat room open when I'm on camera. So if you got questions, comments, or you want to come for me, feel free. Come on, I'm right here. But when you come for me, if I didn't send for you, I'm going to send you back where you came from. Just want to give you a heads up. But as always, be blessed. Let's pray for peace. See you live Thursday, 6:30. Grab some of the show, put it up on TikTok. Grab about 60 seconds, put it up on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Let's make it go viral, y'all. Let's make it do what it do. See you Thursday.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.